Honestly, Jamie, you might not know this about me. My favorite part is planning content.
Really? So I'll hire you because that is not one. I'm the kind of guy that grabs the camera and just goes and just flies with it.
Okay.
I think it's shifted, man. I don't know if you agree with that, but I feel like a lot more people are doing what I'm kind of doing, which is
For sure. Yeah.
choosing more the style of the person you want to work with to match what you want to do, rather than just using the same people that you use for everybody, because then everybody's gonna kind of look the same, and it's not made for everybody. Okay, let me just put that. Let me make that clear. I don't want the message to be everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, because it doesn't work that way. Not everybody's cut to be an entrepreneur, and honestly, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, air quotes, that I see out there want to have a title as entrepreneur because it looks cool on a business card. But they're not entrepreneurs. They just want to live their lives as an entrepreneur, but they don't have an entrepreneur mindset. Okay, so one more episode of the Jamie Show. This is what it's going to be called.
The Jamie Show.
The Jamie Show. Because I'm Jamie. Hi, nice to meet you. Michael, how's it going?
Good, how are you? Jamie?
Jamie, exactly. Nice. Michael.
I've been told.
This is a great way to start a podcast.
I love it.
Anyways, Michael, I was thinking about it. I think you're the most, the guest I've had the most in my podcast.
Yes.
At this point, with this recording.
Okay.
I think today, we've been able to beat the record.
Okay. Good.
Because we've been working together for a while. You were just saying, when did we meet? It was in 19?
Yeah.
Dang. Let's go back. So just for people, the two people in the house that don't know who you are, because who doesn't know Michael Costa? Michael, we got to know each other because you're a photographer, videographer, editor, all around great guy. You've been around. You stuck around patiently around us, and you have to be a patient guy to be able to be around us for that long. So, but remind me again how our relationship started.
Okay. I have
photography relationship, people. Come on.
Yeah.
Take it easy a bit.
For now.
Okay.
It started
How
with your
was
podcast.
It? With my Creative Spin podcast,
Creative Spin.
exactly.
You were recording over at Workspace One, I remember, and I caught an episode. I commented on it.
Yeah.
And then from there was a
How did you find it?
Forth.
How did it come up?
Man, I'm honestly trying to remember that right now.
Yeah.
It must have just come up. You must have been doing something right, because it popped up in my feed.
This is a perfect example as to when I tell people they should do podcasts, because it pops up.
Exactly.
Right? So there you go. It popped up.
Yeah, it popped up, left a comment, and then it wasn't very long after that. Like, it was a short back and forth, and then I jumped on, did a podcast with you.
Yeah, so you swung by the office at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, we had the office at that time. We were down on Bathurst and Queen here in Toronto, which is a nice, trendy little neighborhood. Not saying that the one we're in isn't, but that one was definitely a little bit trendier.
Yeah.
It still is. The office space was kind of cool as well. I liked the whole vibe. Not saying that our studio now isn't like the coolest studio.
It's 10 times better now.
Exactly. Sure. It was a different time. I started, like you said, I started doing that podcast. So Creative Spin was essentially my way of being able to talk to other creative people about what we do in the creative scope of things, right? Video, graphic design, photography, all that kind of fun stuff. And I was very on point. Like every Thursday you have an episode, much like this one will become the same thing. I feel like this is the 2.0 because I'm much older and wiser. Gray hairs are a thing now for sure, but I feel like now I'm more myself. Probably age made me that way as well. Now, it's interesting how people say that, as you get older, you get more confident, you become more of yourself. You don't give a shit about what other people talk about you or think about you or anything like that. You just become yourself. And dude, I think I'm at that point. I'm like in my last year in my 40s. So I'm at that zone. I don't give a shit what people might think or not about me. So I'm feeling really good about these podcasts. I've recorded a few of them now, and I feel like there's a big difference from when I did that podcast.
100%. I mean, like, to your point, having a space that's yours and that you've been able to curate. You know, like just recording in a space like that is different. Like the space that you were referring to before, like it wasn't necessarily set up or optimized even for.
No, it was a boardroom. It was a boardroom of the building, which was a great boardroom. Yeah.
But like you can curate this, and that goes into the creative fuel. That goes, right?
But I feel like even myself, like at that time, and you know, at home, whoever's watching this one can go check out Creative Spin Podcast. It still is a thing. It still lives on the YouTube land. We recorded quite a few podcasts on that one. Quite a few, dozens. And as much as I had fun doing that one, I feel like now I'm much more at ease, I guess, with myself and doing this stuff. And plus, I mean, if you think about it, since 2019, I mean, it's been a few years.
It's been a few years.
7 years.
And now you're producing, we were just counting, over 10 podcasts.
Just in-house.
Just in-house
for our Portuguese channel. So it's given me a lot of experience, a lot of traction in this field. I'm in no way saying that I'm perfect at it, but I feel like I'm more comfortable doing it. And I feel like more of myself, like when I rewatch the episodes, I feel like I'm being more me, right? I think before I was, it's that thing. You're always thinking about stuff. You know what I mean? You're sitting down. Am I sitting down straight? Am I asking the right questions? Am I saying
was my next question?
Yeah, exactly. Am I really being like? There's so many thoughts going on, which is, I think, normal, right? Whenever, unless you're 100% natural at it, which doesn't come around that easily. I don't think anybody becomes natural at this.
I think people have to put the reps in,
right?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this new podcast, I can bring the real me into it and have real, not that the other ones weren't, but I want to really get into like cool conversations. And I've had people ask me, what is it going to be about? And I think it's going to be about what I like to talk about. And essentially, obviously, we're talking about marketing. We'll be talking about podcasting, videography, photography, cameras, but we can talk about anything that's going on in the world. Like, I feel like a podcast needs to be a conversation, right?
Yeah.
How have you, like when you look back at 2019, when we did that podcast, since then up until now, how do you feel you grew as a creator?
Wow.
As a creator.
You front-loaded that question. That's a heavy question.
I've been speaking for like 5 minutes. Now I want to rest and have a coffee. So here's the question.
Fair.
Okay.
No, it's good. It's a good question. I would say like I've definitely grown from the perspective of understanding where my content is going, right? So I was just talking to someone the other day about this, but a lot of people who work in video are solely concerned about the video creation process, but they're not as concerned about the digital marketing aspect of that. And like when you're working under the marketing umbrella, like
worketing. I like that word.
Worketing,
I'm going to use that word.
Are
you worketing? My
new podcast, the Worketing Podcast.
Hey,
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Another one to add on to the list. No, when it just helps, like if I'm working directly with the VP of marketing, or if I'm working directly with the rep on the marketing team, having a good understanding as to like where that content's going to plug in is huge. Obviously, like the way you format the content, yes, but even the way you structure the content itself, right? You know, does there need to be a hook? If short form versus long form, what do the hooks look like for each? So I think I have a much better understanding around digital marketing than I did back then. I was just concerned.
Did you even think about the digital marketing side back then? Or were you
It was
just kind of
interesting.
focused on the like the photog? I know back then you were more into the photography
Way more
side.
and that's probably actually like the biggest change.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely photography. Like, I'm sure if we were to go back and watch that first episode we did together on the
Yeah.
Creative Spin, I probably was more so presenting myself as a photographer.
I think that's what we focused on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I have to go back and
Yeah.
rewatch it, but yeah.
But video boomed, and
Yeah.
it's just it was almost like dumb for me not to jump in. But then as I explored it more, I saw those synergies between film and ads and those things that I love and get me super super excited, and now it's just all I do, all I want to do. I love photography, but it seems like it kind of took more of a back seat as a
Yeah.
hobby and a personal thing I just love.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, video is pictures in motion, right? So
It's all the same thing.
It kinda
How
comes
many
out-
frames per second.
No, but if you think about it, it is kind of the same thing.
It
You're
is.
still framing something. You're still paying attention to lighting. You're still paying attention to your subject. You're still paying attention to the color. I mean, every basic thing in videography you have in photography,
Yeah.
right? With the addition now of movement, so now you have to kind of think about some other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the basis of videography is all photography, right? I would actually say you'll probably become a much better videographer if you really understand photography,
it's a good point.
rather than the other
Yeah.
way around.
It's a good point. I think like the way you compose the image, how you compose your set, is it balanced well? I think even when you're taking a photo, it has to say a lot more in that one frame. So I think being very intentional with how you're framing.
No,
as well.
absolutely. You got to
So-
really pay attention to what the framing, exactly what you're saying.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, I don't think if you're to reverse that, like if you start off being a video editor first or a videographer first, I don't think the transition to photography is that much easier. There, it might be. I mean, I think that if you're a creative person that's doing video and or photo, I think you have the eye
Yes.
for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in a way, it should be okay
Transferable.
to
Yeah.
transfer from video to photography. But I honestly think that from photography to videography,
Yeah.
you're going to have a much better chance of getting really good at it.
100%. Another actually good example of that for people who want to get into the event video space.
Yeah.
Right. Well, obviously, massive industry for that. There's always events going on. There's always opportunities there. Doing street photography is incredible because you're always aware of what's up, down, right, left. Who's the person cutting that corner? What's going on here, there? I heard something. Find it. That skill set transfers so well.
And
to
vice
being
versa,
an
I
event.
guess.
Of
Yeah,
course. Yeah,
yeah.
you're right. Exactly. Vice
It's
versa.
interesting how like things complement each other when we're looking at the different things that you can do with photography or with videography. It's interesting that like you're saying, you can bring street photography into an event or vice versa. But it's such a I think it's all evolution. When I look at this, I feel like being a photographer, videographer, I think it really comes down to how you evolve as a creative,
Yeah.
as a creator, because I think everybody starts in a different way. Like I honestly feel like and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that's listening to us that's a photographer, let me know in the comments where you guys started your photography life, because I'm betting that we're gonna get street photographer, started just taking nature, landscaping. Like there's so many places where you can start, but lighting, composition, like it's all the same basics, right?
100%.
I think it just becomes like a personal taste.
100%. You could say that even when you talk about, I mean, you can speak to this too, like design when it comes to like graphic assets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all balance.
Well, good point. I started there.
Yeah.
So I've always been a designer. So transferring myself into a photographer's shoes or videographer was just, it's all about keeping, those lines straight, those perspectives, the color balances. So for me, my brain always works that way. Like I was even talking to my wife the other day about, how certain people look at the world around them in a different way. Like my son, he's all into music, so he kind of sees things in sounds, right? I look at a street or anywhere really, and I see like lines and guidelines and colors and patterns. But it's interesting to see how everybody has their different way of being a creative person, and a different way where they started. But that doesn't mean that they need to get stuck in that thing, right? They can evolve into other stuff. And I think everything complements each other. We're saying photography complements, I think, better videography. One other thing is being able to speak, the audio aspect of the podcast, like transferring that into the video part. If you started off from let's call it a radio side or a podcasting side, audio only, you will for sure become a much better video podcaster or video person in front of the camera, because you're able to speak in a different way that you've learned to do in your radio gig or when you're doing just audio podcasting, right? I feel like the positioning of the voice, the way you speak, like all of these little things that you learn along the way. If you started there, you'll also become a better podcaster, because now all of a sudden you know how to position your voice, and you know how to, just like as you're speaking. I feel like all of this stuff complements each other. But, at the end, the question that I asked you is where I wanted you to go, and I still want you, I want to pick your brain for it, is what have you really picked on, creatively, obviously, from 2019 to now, and that you're like, if I were to speak to Michael in 2019, I don't think he would ever imagine he'd be doing that now. Because now you're doing stuff that is completely different from what you were doing before. Like the video stuff, the shorts and all that kind of stuff. I keep an eye on you, man. I see what you're doing. So what do you think has changed the most?
So I don't know what direction you wanted me to go in there.
Listen, it's you, man.
I think like even coming off of what I was saying earlier, ads.
I
love working on ads. And whenever I have worked either like 9-to-5 jobs as a individual contributor on a marketing team, the video guy, or whether I've been freelancing and working, that's always been my favorite thing to work on. And there probably is a little bit of a connection to my favorite show of all time, which is Mad Men. I think animation has been another skill set that kind of, I was always so intimidated by jumping into After Effects, and I'm like, cool, I've been in Premiere, I understand keyframes, but to do this, to have it flow this smoothly, to have the copy come in and being intentional about, okay, is there, let's add an underline here, or let's change the color of specific captions, because then people don't have to read the entire caption. They can kind of like read a word and then kind of move and go, I get the idea. And I think there are a lot of things like that as well, especially as like attention spans get shorter, is how do you continue to keep their attention? How do you hook them? How do you keep their attention? And how do you provide the value?
So in the ad world that you're living in, that you like to do, are you also, do you like digging into the whole like storyboard thing where you're actually creating the beginning, middle, and end of an ad, or is it just a creative side behind it?
Like
writing out, let's say, an ad.
Honestly, Jamie, you might not know this about me. My favorite part is planning content.
Really? So I'll hire you, because that is not one. I'm the kind of guy that grabs the camera and just goes and just flies with it.
Okay.
But listen. I know that what I do is it's okay. It's good. I mean, not everybody can do it.
No, yeah.
But I do see the enormous value of planning things out.
Yeah.
So, wow, the fact that you love doing that for me is like,
I have notebooks,
unbelievable.
And notebooks of
really
that I've never made, but I was just so inspired. I sat with a coffee and I went, "This is, even of course personal projects. Again, so many things I've never shot, but that I had so many great ideas around. But then when it comes to working with clients, if that's something that they are looking for, I'll jump on that right away. Someone to spearhead it. And that's why I've really enjoyed working, when I've had the more structured 9 to 5, it ends up being that I'm the video champion. And so it is putting together the content calendar, understanding the objectives of the organization and the team. Okay, how am I going to translate that to video? And how is that going to feed the pain point of the end consumer?
Do you feel like because you've now been for many years, you've been doing a lot of stuff for yourself too, and a lot of videos for yourself, that essentially had to make you understand audience, right? And I think that's an important, it's like the key, I think, to any ad is understanding your audience, because if you're making something for an audience, you better understand who that audience is.
Yeah.
But... And I'm laughing and smiling because in the back of my mind is there's so many people out there that are like doing all of these ads that don't give a rat's ass about the audience. They just want to make things look pretty. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, make it look good, but understand your audience and understand who it's going for, because I don't give a shit if it looks great. If I don't get the message, then
if you don't even watch it.
Exactly.
Because you see the first frame and you don't identify with it, and then you move on.
Listen, if you want to do something very good looking and perfect your way, do it for yourself.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I see this happening a lot too in companies out there, and it's just about people just trying to showcase their own personal, I don't know what even to call it, creativity or vendetta. I don't know which one would fit on this description, but it sucks. But do you find that going through your experience of doing your own stuff, of understanding your own audience, that made you become a stronger editor and probably even writer of these ads that you're putting together?
There has been growth through that, but I would say I've actually learned a lot more in my time working, in a more structured 9 to 5 environment, because I'm constantly learning, because I'm talking to the ad person, I'm talking to the person who's running growth marketing, I'm talking to the person who's spearheading the whole process, and I'm sitting in those meetings and hearing the conversations. Oh, where you have to define a persona around this person. They have this big pain point, which is different from this persona's pain point. And so those conversations, for sure. And then when I get to take those conversations, take those learnings and get to apply it, then that's when it kind of sticks, for sure. So to your point, it is like part of the puzzle. Yeah. But I think there have been so many insights that I've taken from having those opportunities. And I think a lot of people in the video space, if you're a video editor, you want to be a video editor, you don't have to only do freelance. There actually are in-house teams, and people forget about that. Yeah. Of course, agencies have in-house teams, but even...
I honestly think a lot of companies, I'm thinking about my own company, right? We've evolved to a point where I rather work with someone like yourself. So if a certain project comes around, I'm able to look at that project, that scope of work, and kind of figure out, okay, you know what? I think Michael is going to be the good fit for this. Or I'm going to think Alex or whoever it is a good fit for that one, and work with the creator that way, because to have this I think this idea that when I'm going back now, I started 20 years ago. So back in the day, you would have to have your office. Inside your office, you would have to have your team. Inside your team, that's where the work happens, right? Kind of, I get that works as well. I myself am at a different stage. I rather have my office, but I don't care who I'm working with. Yeah, I rather have, the 20 people, the videographers and editors that I know, that each individual one has a different style, and I can then choose who's gonna work best for my client. Yeah. Rather than just having the two guys that I'm always feeding work to them, they're in-house. there is stability, but because you
For
can,
sure.
you can count with that guy that you have in the office because they're there for that job, rather than, I don't know if Michael's going to be too busy next week, right?
Yeah.
I get that sense of security, but then again, if you do have a good relationship with a lot of people, you can, your first choice, your second choice, your third choice, I mean, you're gonna have those options.
Yeah.
But I think it's shifted, man. I don't know if you
Yeah.
you agree with that, but I feel like a lot more people are doing what I'm kind of doing, which is
For sure. Yeah.
choosing more the style of the person you want to
Yeah.
work with to match what you want to do, rather than just using the same people that you use for everybody. Because
Yeah.
then everybody's going to kind of look the same.
So here's the thing. I find that it depends on what's going on. Like, depending on the scale of the company and how tight they are in their brand guidelines, then and how large is their scope for their content. Like, I mean, how often are you trying to produce? How many types of content are you trying to produce? Having someone that's on that not only that understands your brand guidelines, but can help you define the motion guidelines. Because one thing I've learned is, even though there's brand guidelines, that doesn't always inform what you're putting something in motion.
Yeah.
So yes, of course, what kind of font type to use? Of course, that's transferable. What are the color codes? Totally transferable.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not as common anymore for in-house teams. You are on the nail for that. There definitely still are. And I guess the point I was trying to make earlier is not even that that's like the goal for me to always kind of do. I might end up being at a company again. I think it's just, for me too, it's also, if I were to, there needs to be a specific point of interest there where I want to learn something. Like, for example, a role comes up for CBC. Mm-hmm. Okay, I haven't done this at that scale. I haven't worked on a campaign that big. I haven't worked in broadcasting specifically, or maybe it's an industry niche that I want to break into, right? So, of course, there is, the benefits of security and stuff like that, but there's also the benefits of getting paid to learn.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's kind of a cool thing. And but again, to your point, I've learned so much as well just through freelance. And I think a lot of it actually has been, when you have to represent you and you're the only one that can.
Yeah, because as I'm listening to you, you've been speaking from a employee side.
Yeah.
But you also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you've been transferring into more of a, not so much of an employer, probably an employer of yourself.
100%, yeah.
Right? Like a self, like a one-man show, or you, has that thought come to you where you want to just work for yourself, and if things go really well, then you start hiring other people rather than looking for that next job that can offer you that whatever experience it is that you're looking for? Why don't you shift your mind into saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to work for myself, build my company, and look for that job because I want to kind of figure out how that works, how that lives. Are you, is that something that you're thinking of in the near future of doing?
In the near future. Okay. So I guess,
or do you still feel like you
the way I've framed it in my mind is, okay, so for the last year, I have been full-time and full-time freelance. And that is currently still the situation. I guess the way in my mind I've done it is that I'm keeping it open. If an opportunity presents itself to me,
of course, if it makes sense,
again,
right?
Yeah, exactly. If it makes sense, it's the CBC. I see the benefit of doing that.
We all have to pay bills. So at the end of the day,
Man, rent, my goodness. And so, yeah. So, but when I look down the line, I mean, that's what I'd love. I'd love to be, working for myself and to be able to provide opportunities for other people as well.
Yeah. It's funny because it's making me think about my own situation. And like, I don't see myself being able to work for anybody else at this point. Like, I'm just, it's been so many years of working on my own and having to solve the problems and having to, you know, go look for the money and look for the projects and make myself available for this and for that. Being my own boss has just been the way of living for the last 20 years that I don't see myself going back to doing that anymore, which is interesting because I haven't really stopped to think about that up until now. But the first 5 years, I think, you know, looking back, first 5-7 years of being in my own, I always had that you're saying, like, if the opportunity shows up, I might just go. And it's almost like that 9 to 5 is always in the back of my mind, and I need to work, and I need to, okay, if I'm working 8 hours a day, if I get paid X dollars an hour, this is what I should be getting. This is what should be my salary. Am I making that? And I think, you know, after a while, and you start worrying about it. Do you have the job? Do you have the work? Do you have the project to pay the bills and all of that? That concern. I have this
slow month.
Oh man, like, you know, what's gonna happen now? You know, am I gonna after this project is done, what's gonna happen next month? Is work gonna come in? And interestingly enough, life has showed me that one door closes, two open, kind of thing. It's do good work, be nice to people, and work will come. It just has a weird way of happening. Honestly, if you connect to people, if you keep doing good work, it's just going to naturally happen. And I guess this is kind of like if somebody's listening to us and is at that point where they're, you know, in the first years of being on their own and they're still thinking about that, I don't think anything can replace your freedom of being able to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. Even though I'm also here to say it's not always going to be amazing.
No.
It's not always going to be great because even though you're your own boss, you still have to deal with your clients and they're going to be your boss. So you're going to have a lot of little bosses around you that are going to tell you what they want done. It's not going to be easy to maintain the work, to have that money at the end of the year. But it's still, I think, and this is a very personal opinion, I think it's still better than working for somebody else.
Okay, let me present something else to you.
Present it, please.
Okay. I think my favorite, or one of my favorite parts about working on an in-house team, right, has always been the collaboration between departments. And I did reference that a little bit earlier, but like to have okay, we've had our Monday meeting. Okay, what are we gonna, okay, it's gonna run an ad. Okay, so what we're gonna do. And now I'm gonna schedule a meeting. I'm gonna talk to the design team and we're gonna conjure up this idea. What is it visually gonna look like? How do we meet the guidelines? Then talk to the ad team to collaborate. There definitely is a lot of value, of course, as a skill set. That you can get from having that frequent touch point with different departments and to like take that time to understand them. But
exchanging creative ideas, I think is
like you're
what
on
we
this
need.
team with all these people that have their own creative skill set and you're all aligned on this one objective.
Exactly. And at the same time, you have the same wave of thinking, you know what I mean? Like that creative side.
And we're all trying to do this thing. We're trying to do better. We're trying to hit this objective. We're trying to, and it's fun. You rally behind it, right? So that is great. But like, I also see all the points that you're talking about as well, right? And so, I think like if someone's early in their career, and I'm early in my career as well, but you know, you're starting up, I'd say like don't be closed-minded on it. Like if you see an opportunity to be on an in-house team, I think there's so much to learn from. But I think like if you also have this aspiration of eventually being your own boss, like that, know that like you picking one doesn't mean that you won't get to do another. I may have taken a role in the past and thought maybe I'm going to be here forever, or maybe I'm just going to be a freelancer forever. You'll be surprised by how quickly things change, not only in your own circumstances, but what happens outside your four walls and how that informs it. Look at AI. Alone, right?
Exactly. I wanted to bring it to AI, but before we go into that, and which kind of connects what I'm thinking about here. But a lot of times, here's what I think. People get themselves into a 9-to-5 job looking for consistency and assurance.
I think it's a benefit.
But how consistent and how much assurance do you have when you're not in control? If you think about what I'm saying, like, you're not in control of your life. You're working for a company, you're a number. So tomorrow, if push comes to shove and they need to let go some people,
100%.
They're not going to let go of the bosses.
But they can't take the knowledge. They can't take what I got from it.
Yeah, but that consistency that you're looking for will be gone the next day, because they'll say, sorry, Michael, we can't afford to have you anymore. And good luck.
Yeah.
Right? While you can also say, well, if you're your own boss and you have your own company, if your clients don't come around, you're going to have to close shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, because being my own boss, I then have, well, guess what? I don't have that project anymore. That just gave me X amount of hours that I've freed up in my schedule to look for more stuff, to do another thing.
For sure.
Right? So I still have options in order to continue my life the way I still want to do it.
Yeah.
And if I do eventually decide to close down or, close down the company, then sure, that's another decision that I made. Nobody else made for me, but me.
Yeah.
My hand might have been forced into it because now I don't have any money coming into, but the world is big.
Yeah.
I still don't believe that just because you lost a client or two, that's going to be the end of the world. Let's look at Toronto. How many people do we have here? How many companies exist in Toronto? How many other different things you can do? Dude, just roll up your sleeves and go out there and search for another client or 2 or 10, right? There's the chances are out there, the opportunities are out there. And I feel like if you work for somebody else, you can only go so far in many things. Even your salary. Yeah, you can say, okay, but this year I'm getting $100K a year. Next year I'm going to get 110. And the next year, we'll see what happens. Why? Because there's a cap.
Yeah,
there's a cap that your boss just told you. There's a cap. I'm not paying you more than this.
And of course, you can do freelance on the side, but you only have so much time, right? After that, right? And so much, you've spent your 9 to 5 doing this thing, how much time. And then if you talk about trying to promote that freelance thing, then we've talked about this. Doing the thing and promoting the thing are separate departments.
Yeah.
So having that bandwidth is tough, right? No, I understand everything you're saying.
Listen, this is probably one of the topics I'm always going to bring up besides marketing and video and all that kind of stuff is entrepreneurship. I'm big on it.
100%, yeah.
As much as I've struggled a lot with it, being an entrepreneur is not easy. There's a lot of up and downs. There's a lot of inconsistencies. There's a lot of stuff going on, but at the end of the day, and it's not made for everybody. Okay, let me just put that.
Sure.
Let me make that clear. I don't want to make. I don't want the message to be everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, because it doesn't work that way. Not everybody's cut to be an entrepreneur, and honestly, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, air quotes, that I see out there want to have a title as entrepreneur because it looks cool on a business card, but they're not entrepreneurs. They just want to live their lives as an entrepreneur, but they don't have an entrepreneur mindset, because owning a company or companies means you don't have a schedule. You can make your schedule, but you don't have a schedule. It's there's the behind the Instagram. This is how I kind of see it, is like what shows up on Instagram is all the great stuff, all the great accomplishments, all the great meetings, and all the great pictures and all of this kind of stuff. But it's what happens behind the Instagram, the real life. That's where the difficulty becomes. Nobody's there when you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning because you can't sleep, because when you woke up, 10 million things came into your head, all the stuff that you need to do, all of the things you need to pay, and all of the pressure you have. Nobody's there at midnight when you're trying to finish a job because you need to finish it. You know, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people look at a successful entrepreneur when they have their nice house and their nice car and all of that, but nobody understands how hard it was to get there, right? Because it's fucking hard. It's really hard to get there. And so and I just want to say is I'm all for being an entrepreneur. I'm all about having your own company. But I honestly also believe that not everybody's made for it, because the pressure and the stress that you have to go through, it takes a toll. And look at my gray hair, man.
For sure. I think you have to be able to like sell yourself too. And you're talking about or asking me, Mike, you know, what are some skill sets that, you know, you maybe didn't have back in 2019. I really struggled to sell myself. That's
the biggest struggle. Everybody has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you also referenced Toronto. It's such a competitive city, and it's hard when you're young. And
it's a mindset too.
It is a mindset, and you can. Everyone likes to throw around fake it till you make it. Yes, but it's also tough. It's not that easy sometimes, right? And so, you know, I think ultimately, if you want to be in video, there isn't. Like, it's hard to find security in general. Even if you're talking about a 9 to 5. I've been part of group layoffs at these companies. It happens a lot. So you're getting yourself in either scenario that there's like security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're creative, right? You're not doing it for that, but you know, it's...
And you brought another thing, which is AI. And it's funny, I had a couple other guests here, and we spoke a lot about AI and how AI is being used, how you can use AI as a tool, and how much is it's disrupting the scope of work now, and what can happen in the future. And I have some opinions that I've expressed before. But I want to know what you think about AI. Okay. I want you to give me your honest opinion about what you're seeing right now in AI. Obviously, looking at a photography / videography / editor side of things. Do you see it as a competition? Do you see it as a tool? Do you see it as the killer of everything that's going to be... that's going to happen?
Like so many people?
Yeah.
It's a tool.
Okay.
All right. Now, does that mean that people are all using it just as a tool, or are they using it as like a supplement? Or I guess what I'm trying to say is, are there people that are just creating AI slop? Yes. Is it working for them? No.
It won't.
It won't work.
No.
But when you are able to utilize it as your tool, as an assistant, something that can help you get things done faster, that can help you, you know, maybe we recorded this podcast and you realize that there was something on the wall here you didn't want. Well, the shot's stagnant.
Yeah.
So screenshot that and then bring it into Photoshop and then create the AI generative and just get rid of it there, crop, slap it on top. All of a sudden it's not there, and the implementation of AI is limitless.
Yeah.
The way that you can use it, but using it as a tool is definitely the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that ChatGPT was one of the big starter.
First. Yeah.
It wasn't the first, but it was the bigger one, I think. I think it was the biggest because it came to the public. Everybody had the capability and ability to go online and utilize it, right? And then, you can do images with this. Now you can do this. And then all of a sudden you get other ones coming in, and then image generators. Now you can do video as well. And then, so
Midjourney was massive.
It was, but not everybody was in it because it wasn't easy to kind of get into it and all of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we're going through a stage where there's so many AI options out there for creative stuff that most people are able to go into it and use it.
Yeah.
I see a couple of problems here. The free stuff, like the free generators, guys, Every single poster out there is starting to look the same. Just saying. But it is true.
Yeah,
because, and I'm not just saying poster, I'm saying anything, right? Anything you ask chat or whatever to generate, it's a computer.
Yeah.
It's a program. These are based on, ones and zeros. It's going to spit out the same thing.
It's
with a different nuance, but it's going to be the exact. Let's put it this way. If I use a prompt on my computer and you use the same prompt on your computer, you're going to get the same.
It'll look, yeah.
Or 99% of it is going to look the same.
Yeah.
So is that being creative, or is that just using the same prompts over and over and you're going to get the same results? I don't know. If you just use it as a tool like that, I think you can't. I'm not afraid of it, because I still don't think that it will take away a human being's creativity and ability to be in a situation, dissect the situation, do this that we're doing here right now. And mind you, I've heard podcasts done by AI that are extremely good, but guess what? You get to the end, nobody said anything wrong. Nobody stumbled on something. You know what I mean?
It's not
even
human.
Though they're even putting that in there, right? They're putting stutters. Stutters and stuff like that to try to make it sound more human, but it's impossible to make it sound human.
Yeah,
I think we're too complex for a couple of ones and zeros to be able to say, now I'm a human being and I'm going to make this mistake. You cannot predict mistakes. Mistakes happen.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like as human beings, we still are able to catch that and to say, I don't know if I trust that to be real.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe, this is just me being me, but I honestly believe we're going to get to a point where we're going to be fed up with it, with AI looking the same and not looking real. And there's going to be many people looking for real, for the human side.
Yeah.
Meaning people are going to start turning their backs to AI stuff because they want the real deal.
Yeah.
Because they understand that, no, we shouldn't be looking and just doing stuff in AI. We need to, where's the human touch on this, right? Honestly, I think we're too complex of a being to be replaced just yet. I don't know, man. Probably in 10 years from now, we're doing a podcast where we've got AI bots here and they're recording us and they're replacing us and changing our face every 2 seconds to whatever. I don't know. That might be the future, and let's have fun while we're there. But I don't. There's a side of me that still wants to have that hope in human beings and that we're still gonna be probably caring a little bit more about being human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being wrong and doing shit that we shouldn't be doing, and I don't know.
And the tough thing is, like you mentioned, how a lot of these systems, these AI models, are being programmed to integrate these stutters and these imperfections to make them feel more human. And when we talk about, I mean, we've referenced 2019 a few times. This was not on our radar.
No, it wasn't.
And it feels like a short 7 years,
brother,
since then.
I still remember sending faxes, so let's not even go there, man. Like 2019 is like yesterday.
Yeah, I think the tough thing is, it's going to be nearly impossible to regulate AI.
I disagree.
How do you disagree? I'm curious to know, because
I disagree, and I disagree because of what I just said.
Okay.
I feel like as human beings in governments, and because governments are going to have to play a big part on this, because I feel like a lot of politics and views on things are changing now because of the amount of fake news, amount of AI that's being used. Yeah. And when I say AI, I'm even thinking about bots that just spit out posts that are not true,
Yes.
that are going into your comments and commenting as people. There's a lot of ways that AI and bots and all of this technology is shifting society nowadays.
It's a liability.
Exactly. Now
Yeah.
you're touching on the right word. Liability is where the concern is. And I feel like governments need to step in because of that, exactly. Because who's to say that the next election won't be all rigged by bots and AI and all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
If we can't control that, that's what's going to happen, right? And who are we going to be placing in places of power if someone with the click of a button can rig that system in order to put Michael as president of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It needs to be regulated. And the way that it can be regulated, just by like stepping back a second, things like blockchain. A lot of people disregard blockchain, but blockchain is really a footprint of everything that happens digitally, right? It's a digital footprint. So being able to know, I bought this magazine, I now sold it to you, I've now done this to it. And I think we can implement some sort of blockchainy idea to everything that goes on to every single platform. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to kind of like, whoa, let's slow this thing down and make sure that all of these platforms, like from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever else comes up in the near future, needs to have AI on the corner or some sort of something that you can know something in this video has AI. Let me double check the information. And if it's not possible to have that, that should be something that's not allowed to be on that platform.
Yeah, because that's the tough part, is the open source aspect of it.
Brother, the
right?
same way that they can detect stuff on anything that we post, they can detect AI. They can use AI to detect AI. They can make it so that all of the AI platforms that you use in order to create anything needs to put a certain code within the images or something that only AI can pick up.
Yeah.
But it needs to be something that's mandatory so that that AI police will figure that out and put that little identifier on the thing. There has to be something, and that needs to be a law.
Yeah.
So this is why I feel like in the near future, I think governments need to step in. Exactly, needs to be really near because, dude, some of this AI is kind of impressive. I have a good eye.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, is this shit real? Like, I don't know, man. It's like,
we're talking like maybe a year or two ago where we're saying it can't get hands right. It can't, like, it's adding too many teeth. It looks solid and it holds it. It holds.
It's impressive, man.
Someone will walk, they'll gesture, they're same amount of fingers.
I don't know if you're there with me, but right now, everything I see online, I take it as fake, and then I'll double check it.
Yes.
Anything.
You have to.
Especially anything to do with news or anything with, any type of politics or even actors or I will double check everything.
Follow up.
My first gut feeling is, this might be AI. First thing that comes through my mind because it's that good. Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm the best guy spotting it, but I've been doing this stuff for a while and I'm not able. Some generators out there, they're good, man.
Yeah.
They're good. They're real good now. Real good.
I mean, man, I've been playing with Gemini. It is unreal. Obviously, they're using Nano Banana.
Nano Banana's insane.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
It's insane.
And then, there's just so much of it. It's the inflow.
And listen, at the same time, I want to see this as a tool. I want to see this as a possibility for us to be able to create even more nicer things.
Yes.
I want it to go that way, but I am perfectly fine watching a TikTok and having that little identifier saying that there's AI. I'm perfectly fine having that on a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even certain parts of a movie where it's some stuff is really weird. I mean, we had special effects forever, right?
Yeah.
And people sometimes are like, oh man, did that guy get his head chopped off or not? Like, you know, you'd be like, is that for real, man? Well, and we didn't need we kind of assumed that it's a movie, so therefore a lot of the things aren't real. So, but it's because it's a movie.
I see.
What I'm thinking more is like platforms of social media stuff. That isn't being regulated the way I'm kind of like thinking in my head that it should be, because we need to figure out what is real, what's not. We're talking about wars now online. It's like there's so much footage of war this and missile that and bombing here, bombing there. And you're like, at least I am, I don't know if it's real.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was really in Iran or Kazakhstan or wherever, or a kid's computer.
Or exactly, yeah.
I don't know. So am I going to take that at face value that there was a bombing and that's it? I don't know.
And then how does that affect?
Which sucks.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden you're being bombarded with lies constantly, and you have to double check everything. Like imagine a world where you have to triple check everything. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
So honestly, I feel like legislation has to come in and fix that and put something in the law that you have to do something to identify it. Otherwise, we're going to be triple checking everything in constantly. But my fear is that it's going to take a long time because politicians, people who are ahead of countries aren't, let's just say, they're great. They might be good at politics. They're not the best when it comes to technology.
Yes.
And it's going to be hard to. I mean, you remember the whole trials with Mark Zuckerberg in the States, where these old senators and all this stuff are.
It was so funny.
Or saying, "Well, if I'm connected to my Wi-Fi,
am I on Facebook?
Will Facebook see me when I go to the washroom?"
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's like, and these are the people that are regulating shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Zuckerberg and the people that are in the position,
and Zuck's like I don't know what you mean, sir.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these platforms are like I think of Meta and I think of, Google. I mean, ultimately, whether it's enforced by government or whatever, they are the ones that are going to have to, because they're the ones that have the broad access to everyone. They're the ones that everyone's flipping through there.
Yeah, but who's going to
have to make change? But they're also the ones making the most amount of investment in AI.
I get it, but at the same time, it's my biggest fear is like, who is going to head this?
I don't know.
Because okay, let me bring on Elon Musk, right? He's not a little bit quiet. He's quieter. Like I think he's got busy at work because you haven't heard a lot about him in the last few months.
Yeah,
but
can stop talking.
For a while, okay, we know his opinion on it. But here's the thing. This guy, okay, let's like him or not. The guy's a crazy genius. Okay, he's come up with a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of things.
PayPal,
I mean,
SpaceX.
Like him or not. He's done a lot of stuff. He's a smart individual. Is he kind of on the crazier side? I mean, what was that saying that between a genius and a crazy person, there's just like a little fine line, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously a better way of saying it. I just can't remember.
You kind of have to be crazy to be a genius,
kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he falls right there. He falls right onto that position. But here's a guy that he's one of the guys with the most amount of money in this planet. He bought Twitter, X, right? And you think to yourself, why did he do that? And then all of a sudden, Grok comes up, his AI little guy, right? And you think, okay, now I get it. All of a sudden, this guy has millions of people's thoughts, ways of speaking, information, you name it, at his disposal, that he can feed this AI bot
all of a sudden,
all of this information.
Twitter has become, and its database has become the large language model.
Now, imagine, I'm not saying he does this, but just imagine, just like we're just shooting the shit here. Two guys sitting down. Mm-hmm. Imagine if he decides one day, he wakes up and he goes, you know what? I'm going to start putting out tweets against this guy, president of this country, or against this country or that country. I'm not going to name any country so I don't get whatever.
We're walking a line here.
We're walking a fine line, people, a fine line. But let's say he gets pissed off at somebody or a country. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden he decides to like, oh, let me just punch in a couple of codes here. And all of a sudden you start seeing tweets against this and comments about that. And this person, this one guy, can change and shift the direction of the world. Mm-hmm. I know I'm probably sounding drastic.
No, but that's why Zuckerberg was in court. That's the exact same reasoning, right?
It's very dangerous when you have Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and a handful of other people that what if they get pissed off at the world and they just decide to go rogue?
Yeah. And control the narrative.
What are we going to do? Zuckerberg got upset at our government that decided that they wanted to get paid for news that are being published on Meta, so Facebook and Instagram. And Mark Zuckerberg decided, okay, you guys want me to pay? I'm not letting you guys watch any more news. He switched us off. By the way, this is one of the things that I still don't understand, how everybody just let that one slide and nobody's kind of like saying anything. The fact that in Canada, we're essentially in a weird dictatorship where we can't read anything or watch any news on a social media platform because the government and Mark Zuckerberg didn't get along. Mm-hmm. I mean, isn't that insane?
Yeah, but also I don't think we should be getting our news from social media.
I think it should be available to us, and we could make a decision on that.
But also, it doesn't stop people from sharing sources on.
You can't share any news. Try to share some news onto Facebook. It'll say, no, you can't do it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's been what 3 years now? 2 years?
Now, yeah. Okay.
But this shows you
I still see, like Instagram. Like I'll still get posts here and there, but maybe it's because they're publishing from other. They're not publishing.
They're going around the block. Try to go on to like Toronto Star and try to share something onto Instagram. It won't work. Okay. It won't work. Actually, the moment I step in, like in Portugal, let's say as an example, when I go on holidays, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, there's news everywhere because I don't have that restriction in Portugal.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, my Instagram knows where I'm at.
Yeah.
Which is great. They know everything. They're following us. But now it knows I'm there, so it feeds me the news. But my point is not so much about that thing in particular, but about the fact that he was able to, with one switch, he cut us off. Yeah. Now imagine if he uses that other switch to let me lean left or right or do this way or that way. It's very dangerous. And this is where my fear comes with AI and these people who have extreme power.
Yeah.
And the fact that governments have
personal relationships
and they don't even understand how to deal with it, which scares the shit out of me because you've got a government. This one guy has more power than the government.
Yeah.
And they're not realizing that, or they are and they don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I think we definitely need, I don't know if it's a crash course in politics that they need to learn how to deal with all of this new stuff because
it's not going anywhere.
It's not. It's becoming more dangerous in that aspect. I fear more that aspect of just having those like 4 or 5 guys that imagine if they get together and they decide to take over the world. What are we doing? Yeah. What can we do? That'll be tough. I don't know.
That'd be tough.
Oh my God, this became such a depressing podcast right now.
I know. And then, because here's the thing. Okay.
Let's get into it, Michael. Let's get deep into this stuff. Let's go.
Because then you
Oh,
also
boy.
talk about Meta, Google, major advertising networks. So now you're not just talking about the content post, you're talking about the ads served as
It's
well.
the information.
Yeah.
Everything.
It's everything. Like the amount of plugs they have.
Like, think about it. Like, the ramifications of this shit is surreal. Like, think about it. Like, you're sitting down and you don't give a, let's say you don't give a shit about any of this stuff. Oh, yeah? Okay. You've got a phone. What are you watching when you're at home? We were just having that conversation off the podcast where, like, oh, at home, I would just keep watching YouTubes and YouTube stuff and all that. Well, I get bombarded with, because I don't have premium yet, because I don't want it, because I feel like I shouldn't need it, but whatever. I get bombarded with ads, right?
Yeah.
You can't watch anything without having ads. You go through Instagram, ads. You go through Facebook, ads. You go to the old-fashioned TV, ads.
Yeah.
We're being bombarded by ads all the time. We're being forced into seeing and learning about things all the time.
Yeah.
So it's worrisome, man.
It is, man.
I don't know where this is going.
I don't know. But I know when you referenced earlier too, like last thing. Okay, you said earlier you got to check everything 3 times, right?
Yeah.
The issue is that people don't, though.
They don't.
So when it comes up, they're not gonna double or triple check.
But you know, like, human beings are gullible, though. Like, this is the thing. You know, even before internet, you know, your mom would say, "Oh, you know, my neighbor just said that something's going on over there with those two. I don't know. I heard that." And then all of a sudden, that person's going to tell the other person, "Oh, I know for sure something's going on with that because, you know, she told me." And then the next person down the line, "Oh."
Yeah. The game of telephone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think social media is just the same shit. It's the same game of all of that. But you know what? In the middle of all of this, and I know we went doom and gloom a little bit, it's one side of reality, but I like looking at the other side of reality too. I honestly feel like if we use AI, the new technology, all of these platforms for the greater good, and if more people start looking at it that way,
Yeah.
I think there's still hope. I think there's still ways of us being able to use AI to do some really cool creative shit. And
Yeah.
I think I'm loving this journey of AI. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
As much as I see the doom and gloom as well, and I think we should be aware of it, I love this. I'm all about technology.
Yeah.
So I love this whole wave that we're going through where things are fast-paced. There's new stuff coming up all the time. Even when it comes to hardware.
Yeah.
You notice that? I mean, we're camera guys, so I don't know if you've been watching the new Sony cameras that are coming out.
How's
It's
AI
been
doing?
leaked. It's been leaked that their new cameras coming out and all of that. The way that the technology is growing, I'm loving this in terms of technology as well. Like, think about it. When I was 25 years ago, jeez. When I was working at the newspaper, when I was doing my 9 to 5 at the newspaper, being a graphic designer kid, and I was given the first digital camera. It was a Canon something shot, super shot, I don't know, power shot.
Power shot. Yeah.
2 megapixel. Woo! With those the big cards, you know, they weren't SD cards, they were like I don't even the memory cards, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You could fit 20 pictures in there, and you know, I would go to events and it would make that noise. It would amazing. To now, it's like, holy shit, man. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
The way that the cameras that are recording this can be used to record a Netflix is insane. You know what I mean? To record a Netflix show, this is where we're at. We can buy a camera that can do that.
If you wanted, I mean, back in the day when you're doing a radio show, you're live broadcasting, it was basically exclusive to that and news television. Nowadays, if you're Timmy and you like playing this video game, you can go live on Twitch right now. All you need is your phone.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
And listen, if Timmy wants to do a full-blown movie or a little whatever, he'll ask his dad, and his dad can afford to buy 2 amazing cameras and a couple of other little things that will make that documentary happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day, you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Not everybody could afford that. I mean, the same things happened with graphic design, which is now dying because of AI taking over. Dying-ish. I still want to say dying-ish.
Yeah.
If you still want something well done, people, you still have to hire a good designer. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But back in the day, man, I'm feeling so old in this podcast. I would have to have an office space, desks, computers, all of that, so I could hire someone to be there.
Yeah.
Because that computer and that space they couldn't afford to have at home.
Yeah.
And now it's completely flipped. That designer now has a better computer than I do. They can work on their own time and their own location, wherever they want to do, better than if they came to my office. This is where it's shifted. Video, same thing. You would have to go to, you'd have to go to a TV station in order to do a newscast. Now, some of the newscasts that are more viewed out there are on TikTok.
Yeah, and they're shot from bedrooms.
Exactly. I love this shit, man.
Yeah.
It's, I think it's exciting to see where we're at, where we're going. It's going real quick. My advice to anybody out there that's getting started, getting their feet wet, is stay on top of stuff as much as it's going to be hard, because you got to be on top of a lot of stuff. You got to watch, listen to a lot of things, because a lot of new cameras, new technology, new software is coming up so quickly. You need to be on top of it. And for the older folks like me, don't disregard it.
Yeah.
At least know what's out there. That's my advice to people. It's like, don't let yourself go. Don't just turn your back to things and say, I'm too old for this stuff. I say you don't need to learn how to work with everything.
Yeah.
You don't need to learn how to do all of with every single app or software or piece of technology, but at least learn what's out there.
Yeah.
At least know what this type of software can do, what this type of hardware can do.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah.
But at least know what it can do, so that you can hire Michael or myself and you can tell them, I want you to do this because I know that you can use these apps and this technology to get there, right? I feel like that's where, if you're older and you don't have, you only have a couple more years before your retirement, so why get into all of that stuff? I'm the first one to say, don't get into that. Just hire somebody that's younger and that wants to do it. But at least know what the capabilities are.
100%. And that goes to what we were just talking about for a little bit, right? When it comes to AI, understanding what it's capable
Understand
of.
it.
Yeah.
Understand it. And ask somebody else to do it for you.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're younger and you want to get into it and you want to, it's like, a little challenge you want to put into your life. You want to learn this or you want to learn that, just then do it. Because knowledge is great, and you definitely need to just grow in that aspect. But you don't have to learn everything. It's gonna get to a point where it's impossible for you to learn every single software out there, or app, or language, or whatever it is that's gonna come up. I think it's gonna be impossible.
Yeah.
Just too much, man. It's like even cameras. We're talking about cameras.
It's impossible to stay on top of every...
Especially to all the camera manufacturers that, first of all, want to sponsor this podcast. Secondly, you guys need to start working on the naming of your cameras. Because...
Let's talk Sony.
FX3R V72S 3322...
A6500, but technically it's older than the A6400 because this one came out before that.
Because of the 33 that came out on the... Oh, God.
It reminds me of talking about German cars. I can't...
Figure it out, man. Yeah. Put a name to it.
Come
on. You know what? iPhone 14, 15, that also gets confusing. Just name things, man. I don't know. Just...
Yeah.
The problem is, I think every year we have like a different one coming out. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
It's hard. And then when you start crossing things like Canon, Sony, like, then you get lost. And then it's like Samsung, Apple, this and that. Oh my God, the naming. You need to. It's crazy.
Yes.
Man, we've. How long have we been talking? How long has it been, Christina? Jeez. Almost 2 hours.
Really?
We're pulling a Joe Rogan here, man.
Wow. It did not feel like 2.
I know.
Wow.
Sorry, guys, but this is what you're getting with my podcast. You don't want to watch the whole thing in one shot? Don't. This is the great thing about podcasting.
Yeah.
Is you can pause it, watch it the rest tomorrow, or do a 3-part, whatever.
Listen in the car. Watch it from your desk. Go over here. Watch it on TV. You
Yeah.
can, you know, sparse
I
it
will.
up.
I will be. We will be
Splicing it up.
Yeah, there you go. And so it makes it easier for the viewer.
Yeah.
Imagine cutting all of this in like 3-minute increments.
Oh my
How many parts are we gonna get on TikTok? You know the trend, right? Watch a whole movie in parts. It's like part 33. We're
Yeah,
halfway
I know.
through the movie. But we'll do the same thing for the podcast. But listen, I think it's safe to say that we should stop talking at this point. If we have more to talk about, we'll do it on another podcast. I mean, this is like your 3rd, 4th time and sitting down in front of me, so we always have good conversations, though. I like having you in my podcast because even though there's a little bit, just a little bit of an age difference, we think in the same way of the creative side. We like cameras, we like that side of things, editing, video, and all that. So it's always a good conversation, and we should repeat it like every other year or whatever. We should keep on doing it.
For sure.
Yeah. What did you like of the new podcast? Give us some feedback instantly, like at the end of the show.
Okay. Well, I love the set.
Good.
This is great.
Positive.
The Garfield's
That was such a good buy.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say.
really
Walking
like
into a
that.
store, wasn't expecting to buy this, but then I looked at it and it just screamed my name. So
The lighting setup's great. Loving this.
we're doing a lot of stuff in this. I'm gonna put up a little video of the studio. We've been here for a year now, or just over a year, and only now, I'm liking it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until now, I liked it.
Yeah.
Now I'm liking it a lot.
Now you're loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not loving it yet.
You know what?
I still need to add some other stuff.
Yeah. There's
But
always
There's
you know,
always
ideas,
room
you know?
for stuff.
As long as the cookies are always here when I come.
Cookies. Don't give away our
getting
secret,
thumbs
Michael.
up.
That's how we lure people in. That's how we get you. It's the cookies.
Yes.
But I'm really starting to like it a lot. It's coming together. We have so many different like sets.
Yeah.
So many different little things that we're being able to just manipulate and use.
Yeah.
I'm liking it, and I kind of predict that this year is going to be a really good year for this studio because of that. I think, being able to do. I can't wait to see what we're gonna be able to create in here.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a fun year. Yeah,
For sure, man. Yeah.
Let's do this. Thank you, sir,
Thank you.
for being such a good guest and having the patience to sit here and go through all this stuff. She wants to go home, so we need to end this. To all of you guys there, do the normal thing. Just share, like, comment. Even if it's bad, comment. I don't care. Let's do it. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Have a good one. Thank you, Jamie.